So, like I was saying in the beginning, I this morning or lately, I have been reading the nectar of devotion early in the morning when I wake up, like for 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I infuse myself with the nectar of devotion, and it just feels so great. It's like a good uh, psychological treatment, I would say, because it puts your mind at ease in the mode of goodness. So, especially I was reading chapter 10, Techniques of Hearing and Remembering. So before I do that, let me offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, my spiritual master, Hridayananda Maharaj. Namaom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Hridayananda Goswami Iti Namine Namaste Guru Hansaya Paramananda Nase Prabhupada Pramodaya Dustasiddhanta Nasimi Namaom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deven Gauravani Prachalini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyadi Sotalini. So the techniques of hearing and remembering, it is explained. Then the hearing, in this case, which is the first one, the beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is hearing. In Sanskrit, this is called Sravanam. All people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So sometimes I will be adding some of my own thoughts into the reading section of this Nectar of Devotion. So this is Srila Prabhupada translation of the Nectar of Devotion that is given as the Nectar of Devotion. So we'll be learning from here, and he says that this hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. One who links his ears to the transcendental vibrations through oral reception quickly becomes purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that this hearing is very important. Lord Chaitanya, like I said, has affirmed that this hearing is very important because it cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul, so that he becomes quickly qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. In the Govinda, in the Garuda Purana, the stress on hearing is expressed very nicely. So it is said that the state of conditioned life in the material world is just like that of a man lying unconscious, having bitten by a snake. I guess this is a practice, that this is something that happens in India before, also because of so many snakes. So it is said that this is because such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of mantra. When a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in a comatose condition. So anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self, or his actual duty, and his relationship with God. So let me hear the sound. His relationship with God. Yes, sound is good. So materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya, by the snake of illusion, and those without any Krishna consciousness, that person is almost dead. Now the so-called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by the chanting of some mantra. There are expert chanters of these mantras who can perform this feat. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 40, the importance of hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is stated by Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Pariksit. It is said that, my dear king, once you stay at a place where the great acharyas, or holy teachers, speak about the transcendental activities of the Lord, and one should give oral reception to the nectarian river flowing from the moonlight faces of such great personalities. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusions of material existence. So he continues to say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommends this process of hearing as a means of self-realization in the present age of Kali, because it's very difficult. So in this age, it's very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principles and studies of the Vedas which were formally recommended. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibrated by great devotees and acharyas, that alone will give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is the recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Hearing from professional men will not help. If we hear from those who are actually self-realized, then the nectarian rivers, like those which are flowing on the moon planet, will flow into our ears. This is the metaphor that is used in the above verse. So it is stated, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialistic person can give up his material hankering only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up his inferior engagement. In the material world, everyone is engaged in the illusory activities of the inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity to relish the activities of the superior energy performed by Krishna, then he forgets all his lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to the materialistic person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends, but actually it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Arjuna then gave oral reception to such vibrations, and thus he became freed from all the illusion of material problems. So when I read Nectar of Devotion early in the morning, that's why it does clear my mind from all the nonsense that is going on in my mind at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Because when you wake up, after you've been dreaming, I guess, in the state of dreaming, one of the stage of sleeping, dreaming, I guess there are 5 stages, which I don't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, now we continue here. It says that in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. This will surely kill all kinds of his inauspiciousness in the heart. But this is something that to hear about the transcendental activities of Krishna does to our hearts. So this is for our best what are we going to say? It is for. It is what? It is what? It is something that if we do, then we're gonna be blessed. So now we go to the expecting the Lord's mercy. It is says that in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, "My dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him, and who goes on suffering the resultant action of his past misdeed, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim." Now, for some of us who are suffering from old age, I guess, because we're getting old already. We used to be young and old, and when it comes old age, there's things that come to your body. If we start asking, sickness, some kind of weird thing that happened to the body, and we can say that, yeah, this is because of my previous sinful activities. Then now I am suffering the resultant of this action, just like it says here in this 10th canto. Yeah, because of this is the result of my sinful activities in the past. Now I am suffering these sicknesses or these weird things that go on with the body. Now this is a good prayer. Let me say that again, because really I never thought about it, but I like it now. It says, "My dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him, and who goes on suffering the resultant action of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim." So I guess we should offer obeisances to Lord Krishna from our heart, and then I guess we can become liberated. We can become a candidate. I would say myself, maybe we can become a candidate to become liberated. Even though here it says that it's surely eligible, so they are making sure that yes, this is going to happen. So I guess we gotta have faith that it will happen, that we become liberated from material activities. And it says here that, continuing, that this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide of all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from the reaction of his past misdeeds. Well, that's true, because I guess we gotta suffer, and Krishna minimizes that suffering for us. So it is continual. Let's continue. It says, "No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences, because material existence means continuous suffering or enjoying of past activities. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. This is possible only when one begins Krishna conscious activities, because such activities do not produce reaction. Therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, is not going to take birth again in the material world." Wow, this is a heavy statement. How can we become perfect? How can we become perfect in this life? I guess some people can do it. Some others might not be able to do it. And some of us will struggle to do it. But it is explained here anyway that if one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, we will not be born again. That's a good thought. So a devotee who is not perfectly freed from the resultant action should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. When such impediments arise, he should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. That is the only solace. If the devotee passes his day in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord by such activities he earns his claim to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is dayabak. Dayabak refers to a son becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of the father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulations in executing Krishna conscious duties becomes lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental above. So here we go with the action of hearing. So hearing is very important. It's very important. So if we hear the transcendental scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, then for surely our mind will be pacified, and eventually Krishna will be established in our hearts by His mercy, of course, and the mercy of the spiritual master, and the mercy of all of the devotees. It's not that we can do this alone. That's why it is somehow or another we try to do some sadhu sangha, get together with some other devotees. If we can. If not, we get together with Krishna's scriptures, read the books of Srila Prabhupada. So, remembrance. Well, what is remembrance? Wow, sometimes even when you're sick, I guess you should be able to remember in your mind, say, remember the pastimes of Krishna, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. What it says? Jangma karma chame divyan. That verse. Evan yoveti tattvataha. No. So we remember Krishna, remember the pastimes of Krishna. So remembrance. What it says on remembrance? It says that some way or other, if someone establishes in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. About this remembrance, there is a nice statement in the Vishnu Purana. Nice statement in the Vishnu Purana, where it is said, simply by remembering the Supreme Personality simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kind of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn and eternal. In the Padma Purana, the same remembrance is explained as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, because if someone remembered him either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes free from all sinful reaction. This is nice. When I open the doors for my deities, there's a verse that is recommended to chant. It says, "The Lord, who is the oldest of all, is unlimited merciful. Please bestow your mercy upon me by opening your lotus eyes." It's one of the verses. There's two verses. I don't remember the other one. And I try to say that to wake up the deities. Of course, by offering obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and Charideva, then said that verse. So that's the way to remember and the way to meditate. Okay, so it's 20 minutes. So this is my 20-minute early morning 20 minutes, because I know that people have things to do, places to go, people to see. So have a beautiful day. And Prabhu Lilakara was there. Hare Krishna Prabhu, have a beautiful day. Hope that everything goes fine in your work. And just remember to hear and remember about Krishna. So Hare Krishna, and have a beautiful day. Let's stop this by now. Haribol.